You're watching TVC Breakfast. More Nigerians are sending in their congratulatory messages to the national leader of the All Progressives Congress, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as he clocks 70 years today. So next I will be talking about, with me in the studio, to talk about the man on the 70th birthday. I think we have a report to play on that before I introduce this colleague of his who knows much about him. They have worked together. We'll tell you all of that story, but let's play some of these reports for you to see before we come back. Stay with us.
Happy birthday, Asiwaju, as you attain this glorious age of 70. I just wish you the very best. I wish you many more glorious years. I pray that you will live long to see your children's children, even to the third and fourth generations, and that God will continue to bless you and bless your endeavors.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I want to congratulate you. I want to pray that by the grace of God, your 70 years that is going to be landmark will become the best years of your years. Lagos today is home to all, to every Nigerian. You opened the door. You didn't discriminate against religion or tribe or anything. You brought Nigeria to Lagos, and that is why everybody in Nigeria is asking that you come and lead Nigeria. And God Almighty will give you the capacity, the good health to lead this country. We will elect you. We will do everything possible democratically to make sure that you are elected the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
This is wishing Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu a happy birthday. May God grant you good health, the serenity of mind, and the wisdom to add value to the Nigeria project. May Allah grant you the generosity of spirit, as you are wanting, to embrace Nigerians of all stratifications, so that you can provide leadership to the Nigerian nation.
Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, today you are 70. I wish you what everybody wishes you. I wish you what you wish for yourself. But beyond that, and more importantly, I wish that your best days, and pray for you that your best days, the best days of your past will be the worst days of your future. Happy birthday and God bless you.
A very happy birthday to you, our leader, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as you turn 70 today. May God's blessings keep you always. You're a leader of leaders, very thoughtful, very kind, very generous, and a leader who doesn't allow his followers to fall or fail. A leader who will always lift you up, no matter what, who always looks back and actually watches over you. So happy birthday, Asiwaju. You deserve the very best. I wish you continued strength, good health, and God's abundant blessings. Happy birthday, Asiwaju.
I am so proud of you. I love you, and you know you can't question that. I love you, proud of you. You've made me very proud in so many ways. I can only wish you the best in life and pray that even your latter years will be better than the former one. And God will continue to strengthen you. Each step you take, God will take you from another level of glory to glory. I wish you all the very best. In Jesus' name I pray. Happy birthday, my love.
All right, you've heard messages from a lot of Nigerians across the country. There's so many other messages that you're going to get to see as we get along. But today is the birthday colloquium at the Eco Hotels. Later on, the President, Muhammadu Buhari, is expected to chair the event today. But let's talk about the man Tinubu. But I have his colleague, his former colleague in the studio here, Akin Fatimke. They were together at Mobile Oil PLC and all of that. But I will allow him let us know all of that live at that time and all of that. Akin, good morning. Good to see you.
Mike, good to see you. I just
You're
say
welcome.
good morning to Nigerians.
Good
nice
morning.
to be here. Thanks for having me.
Right. You're welcome. Now, share with us, because the stories of how life started, how it was at that time. When we hear some of these stories, it makes, it brings a lot of nostalgia and all of that. And for those of us who may not be there at the time, what kind of man was Tinubu at the time that you worked together as colleagues those days?
Again, thanks. Very interesting that I will be made to come and talk about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Back in our ExxonMobil downstream days, we call ourselves, or we term ourselves by initials. So we had him as BAT. And happy birthday, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If I do something now, it may sound a bit dramatic, and if he's watching, I know he's going to go into a guffaw laughter. This is Bola Tinubu. He does that. Now, that is his typical signature. Now, that is a form of a B.
Okay.
The line goes across. O-L-A-T Tinubu. And that is the way he will normally, most of the time, sign off our audit reports. Our paths crossed 34 years ago. When I got into Mobile January 4 of 1988, but a dramatic thing preceded that. Bola Tinubu decided against the run of play in Mobile at that time that he was going to apply technology. I'm talking of 1987 to the way we do things. And everybody around us said, where is this going to come from? This was the days of DPMS, punch cards, the Wang, just one computer will be in there. And he said, I have a vision that the way things are going and with the expansion that we're having in the business at that time, I needed to bring in technocrats. That was going to be a disruption. And people will not believe or could not see what this man saw. At that time, he was the manager.
Talking about technology in the 80s. Wow.
And people said, look, on a cost-benefit analysis, we had well-seasoned human beings. They were human computers. They will stand and they will tell you what will happen, what should happen from experience, irrespective of what you go to do in any of the Ivy League schools that we have all over the world. But he kept on saying, that is my vision. And so the idea got sailed, and the American corporation allowed that he was going to go for just one. Bola Tinubu as a visionary. Let me step back a little bit. When I got into Mobile, one of the first things I saw was that his right-hand man, the man who was his man Friday, the man who he agreed that, call it chief of staff, was an Igbo man. He's still alive. His name is Batmore. He supported this man to the hilt. I'm talking of about 34, 35 years ago. We never knew he was going to go into politics. And between him and Batmore, he now decided he was going to get in technocrats, like I said. Got a first-class brain from University of Lagos, got my other colleague who was into DPMS, and yours sincerely. What Bola Tinubu saw in my CV and said, despite all the challenges, I want to get this man. He never knew me from Adam, because I think we are going to get into the throes of writing reports. And for good reason. I was a J.F. Kennedy Memorial Essay Scholar, and he said from the technical to the hardcore accounting, I'm also an accountant, but I needed somebody who will be able to put this down concisely and precisely. 1988, 12 years after. By the time he got into politics and was chairman of Senate Committee on Finance and all that, he saw me in Abuja. I had gone for some other technical things. And I said, Akin, come. I said, please see me in my room in Transcorp Nuka. Lo and behold, I got into the room. Who did I see? I saw Bola Tinubu. I saw the former VC of University of Ife in Yoruba. I think it's late now. And I saw Polycarp Mwite. And the question he asked me, he said, Akin, when we have issues and we have reports and we have findings, how do we write it? And I was blank. And these were politicians. For the life of me, I never ever thought he will be talking about the way we do things now. Point is that bureaucracy and the way public and civil service works is different from how it is done in the private sector. And I said, look, supposing Nigeria is not running well, supposing we feel that there has been leakages here and there, and we're able to gather all our thoughts when we go to field audit and want to bring it to the attention of management, how do we? And then, of course, my brain recalibrated. I said, well, if you're asking me that, we'll say, yes, we've got finance, and we'll say, effective immediately, comma. This. He turned to the professor and turned to Polycarp. Did I not say this to you? My point is simple. We had a man who was totally detribalized. He held somebody from the East. All through the time he was audited, he never had him or proposed for him to be changed. It's not as if others from other areas were not okay, but he said, well, if it's not broken,
you don't fix it.
You don't need to fix it. He got in those technocrats that I mentioned. Shegun Ojo is still alive. Kola Faju Igbe is still alive, yours sincerely. And we met a crop of highly seasoned personalities. If somebody says to you today, and I'm talking about a Bola Ahmed Tinubu that I saw in flesh and blood when he was not a politician, well, you see, there is politics in virtually everything. He saw this vision and he said, hey, I am going to take ExxonMobil from the level that we were, and we were one of the best oil majors at that time. In fact, we were the very first in this country. I want us to take us from the mundane to take us to the higher levels. Everybody was just looking at him and said, what
is he talking
are
about?
we talking about? He went out, he hired through the normal ExxonMobil system where you do not have any means of influencing. Got all of us that knew not one another and did not know us, but that we could come in, come on the table and come and deliver. And lo and behold, with all due respect, his vision paid off. Because right there and then from audit, and part of the reports, and is documented, part of the reports that this gentleman that we are celebrating today initiated an occasion, changed the paradigms. In fact, changed a lot of personnel. And Mobilan said, look, if you did that, then you better come and do some other things. And that's how we went to Treasury. Now, This must not be all accolades. Does Bola Tinubu have, in my honest opinion, human frailties? I say yes. Like most leaders whose brain work more like computers, Bola Tinubu is quite impatient with sloppiness. Back at that time, people will not understand, the affiliation or no, don't organ me. Deliver. And if you cannot deliver, I'll give you another chance. I will train you. And if you are not able to deliver on the objectives that have been set, I'm sorry, you ship out. And no matter the amount of begging that you beg, no matter the excuse that you wish to make, and I came to see that as part of the work ethos in ExxonMobil. You are not fit for purpose, we trained you. You still are laggard, we give you a chance to be able to gather yourselves. And if you still continue to be laggard, you are taken away so that you can get best fit for purpose. This served Bola Tinubu very, very well, both on the corporate, both on the consensual, both on the dream that ExxonMobil has in Nigeria, which is equal opportunity employer. The fact that you may be a lady, you may be a gentleman, you may be tall, you may be short, you may be black, you may be white. He did that to the hilt, and he allowed that to make us a kind of shining star. So we had, and then we got ourselves now to be Bola Tinubu boys. And then, of course, we were disrupting right, left, and center. At the height of the career of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as a finance accounts person, he was part of the team that creatively puts funding requirements together for the mobile house. The mobile house that you see, that is still the crown jewel of real estate properties in Nigeria, was at the height of it at a time when the late Bola Ige said, I heard something happening in the east, like the Queen of Sheba would have said. I must go see the Solomon that put this together. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was in the middle as a finance treasurer to creatively look for how to fund without necessarily borrowing beyond threshold. Let me even say, without necessarily borrowing. And then, of course, he had colleagues, and part of those colleagues, one of them is an engineer and administrator, Olu Onokoya, who eventually, years later, became the first Nigerian managing director of that company, having gone all over the world, Zimbabwe, Ghana, gone there to come rescue Nigeria. So Bola Tinubu at that time said, how are we going to do it? Collapsed assets, sold a lot of our assets that were, excess to requirement, creatively put that into that building, and that building, as at the last count before I left Mobile, was earning accolades all over the world. This was at a time when they said Nigeria was not going to work. This was at a time, just like we find today, when everybody now says, ain't gonna happen in Nigeria. Bola Tinubu and his colleagues, all Nigerians, got themselves together, creatively, put that building where, as I speak today, safety records, it's not going to be a place that is going to collapse and what have you. So he knows what I'm saying, and that is creative. The other thing I want to say about Bola Tinubu while we were in Mobile, Bola Tinubu loved people. Bola Tinubu could pluck out his eyes sell it if he knows people will kind of benefit therefrom. I can say, and Mrs. Remi Tinubu, the wife, should be able to bear this out. Of course, a gangling and dangling Bola Ahmed Tinubu met this lady around about 1988. We went for the wedding ceremony at the Kushebi Allah compound in Ibadan to tell you that I'm talking about the Bola Tinubu that I know. Mrs. Remi Tinubu has always been, we used to call her, okay, I hope she will permit me to say that, Mama Eni Ola, that was her first child, of course, of blessed memory now. And Bola will now then say, hey, wait a minute, Remi, you're going to stay at home? I have to go out there on the field, because his work ethics is, it starts as early as 6:30. He gets to the office well ahead of us. He walks round the clock. He might get to the end of the day. He finds his way to Ibadan, to Port Harcourt, to Abuja. Bola Tinubu was a workaholic. He understood that. The Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Jagaban of the universe, as we say, and perhaps the Asiwaju of Nigeria, as somebody else has said, did a few things that were unique back then. He will pick some of us in Surulere on his way to the office. Well, can you be early enough around the stadium? Of course, we were all waiting. Hop into the car. We take a free ride with him. In the ride in the car, we begin to review some of the work that are very critical. And he did something. Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows how to reward
hard work.
Hard work.
Okay.
His core boys who did all that needed to be done. Not only were we seen as poster boys, but we all got to the peak of our careers, even after he had left. The compassion in Bola Ahmed Tinubu is such that, well, yes, as a treasurer, and then was hobnobbing with the best of the best all over the world, he will go out there, and when he comes back, you say, you guys, yes, I think you've been working, well, take this cologne, okay, take this. Some of the ties that we were all donning, and then we were all seen as boys. Now listen, Bola Tinubu had a special way with youths. Back in the day, what happens is that you come and do an intern, you've done 2 years, youth corps or whatever. Some of the ladies that came, not only did he empower them, not only did he support their education from his hard-earned purse, he ensured that they got to the very best of the very best all over. And many of them, I am talking about corporate life, I'm not talking about politics now. Many of them eventually found themselves heading, after his death, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not even remember a lot of those people. The compassion he had for the elderly was legendary. He had this feel that, yes, we do not have social network capacity to take care.
Support systems.
The support system to take care for the elderly. He looked beyond his core, worked very effectively with our corporate social responsibility arm to making sure that the elderly got a bit of a feel. And one of the few things that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did within the corporate ambit was to now touch, whether it's a Mason School, whether it's orthopedic hospital in Ibubi, whether it's far north in Kogi, whether it's going to be in Borno, as far back as that time. Bola Tinubu was a smart aleck. Bola Tinubu believed, for instance, effectiveness over efficiency. Bola Tinubu can sit in front of you. He asks you a question, you supply some answer. He asks you interrogative questions and all that. And to your charging and to your surprise, Bola Tinubu will get into the boardroom. The ideas he speaks from you that he has polished, by the time in his oratorial prowess, he drops it, your jaw will drop. And will continue to drop. Mobile House, the Exxon Mobile House, stands to the credit of the vivid imagination and the vision of a man who creatively looks at and tries to build from somewhere to nowhere. And so,
well, we can go on and on and on and on and on
and on. And I like to say something.
Yes.
Because his boys are all big boys, grandfathers, grandmothers. I say somebody like I've just mentioned Kunle Ali. I have my other colleague is in Canada now, Tunde Dada, Olumide Ajomale, who incidentally also sharing a bad day with him. We
amazing.
had a good times about it. Kola Faju, Tunde Ojo, Akin, Dohati. We all went, and that was leadership. Mobile gave us the means to be leaders, and I've seen situations where those leadership traits is taking it into politics. Getting people together, bringing consensus.
Amazing.
It does not allow you to be sloppy. If you be sloppy and you are not sure of your facts, please don't come near Bola Tinubu because he's going to floor you.
All right.
Happy birthday, Bola Tinubu.
Thank you so much, Akin Fatimke, for taking us through that, memory lane of how all of that started so many years ago, over 30 years ago. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much.
And we look forward to greater days ahead, also for that kind of leadership, mentorship for even younger people these days.
Oh, more. This is just a tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
You want to know a little bit more about Bola Tinubu in terms of politics? The iceberg is submerged.
We haven't even scratched it yet. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.